Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, August 29th, and this is Black Spring with Autumn with you on your Friday morning. Hope you guys are doing well out there and that you are doing what you need to do in this world and that you are taking care of yourself, taking care of yourself and choosing yourself when you need to. I've been a little bit hit or miss because things have picked up. Of course, the work season has picked up quite a bit, and I don't know. We have all these, and I'm going to go out. I'm going to be a little bit extreme, or you might call it hyperbolic, but I'm going to say that in this world we are on this calendar. Some people refer to it as the Roman calendar. Things that have seemed to have been changed, or that those that seek to change time are those with some type of God complex, But I don't mean to go in a specific direction on that. It's just that I haven't had the time to. It's not that I haven't had the time, but I just needed to take the time to come in and just, hey, I'm still here. The pulse on everything is a little bit inconsistent, but the pulse is still there. Okay, the pulse is still there. But I don't know. Let's just in this season, in the time, we have all these rituals, and to me, I almost want to call even the calendar, the things that are on our calendars, whether we call them holidays, even school, back to school. I find that to be pretty ritualistic. It's you've got bells, you've got bells, you've got timing, you've got all of these things to me that occur on a cyclical that have a rhythm to them, or are regulated by bells or rhythm. And I find that's an element. Oh my gosh, that's an element even that I find in fantasies or literature. But however, I just want to talk about. I just think that there's I talk about agendas. For those of you, if you want to call it conspiritual in concept, and whatever speaks to you. But I do caution people: do not dismiss the experiences of others to make. And this came from something like Dr. Ramani or whatnot on narcissism. Like, don't dismiss the experiences of others, so you can make sense of it. So you can make sense of it in your own world. So I'm saying all that to say that it just seems like there's a driving agenda, and I don't know if it's something a lot of people have talked about, mocktails and things like that. I do think that there's something going on, that we are those that seek to control. They've been successful with quite a few things. They've been successful at convincing us that, I'm just thinking, how long is it before these cycles convince man or human beings, completely convince them that they are useless, or that we resign, we submit to full control because we're just incapable of functioning or being our healthy functionality. I mean, you can just see it where, I'm just going on to the school shelf. The back to school shelf has been incredible this year, and I've been watching it for a few years now, but I noticed that there's more. If you go to a store, you're starting to see, it's not just this year or the previous year, what you start to see more of what they call the social emotional learning, or you start to see post CV-19 or the COVID-19, you start to see more of these items on the shelves. I'm starting to see, and they call it diversity and inclusion, all these kinds of things. They wordsmith it. But I'm seeing more things on the shelves, like Here's a fidgety popper for a child that might be fidgety. Here, give them one of these popper things. And I've also seen those items on the shelves at Walmart. I'm seeing these items that are, that they are catering to, or they have normalized. They're trying to normalize and normalize students being jittery or extremely, exorbitantly or excessively jittery or excessively lacking attention span. So, give them one of these little popper devices, or here's a stress ball. It's on the shelf. There is an entire industry that I see that's catering to normalizing or massaging these kids into thinking that, I've got to have something very specific to pacify this inner whatever that I can't control. So whether these kids are being medicated or not medicated, it's almost like they've been successful with convincing the whole world, generations. They've been successful at convincing the whole world that there's something that you've got to appease, this inner thing in you that can't sit still, or this inner jittery that you can't sit still. And I'm not even going to break it down. I'm not even doing statistics on boys versus girls. I'm just saying these items are on the shelves. I believe I saw multiple items on a Walmart shelf recently where, it's these little, I don't know if you guys have seen, they're like little popper things. They kind of look like they're like little rubber or little plastic little cups that, they look like egg crates, but you push them in and you push them out, you push them in, you push them out, or either they have stress balls, or, why in the world? I'm saying they've been successful, they've normalized it, so now, and they've also a lot of these kids are emasculated. They can't climb on a jungle gym. Instead we'll give them a popper. There's certain things that they don't even engage in. But it's all a weakening. It's all an emasculating force that I see. That's going on. It's a whole agenda. It's a whole industry on what they call social emotional learning. But there's also this. But without that, now you've got the social emotional pacifiers. And then and here's another thing. I'm going to go out on another limb. I think that they've used certain people are elite in power to try to normalize and say, so-and-so is, I don't want to say the word on here, I'm self-censoring right now, AUTISTIC. I think that they've kind of created it's worse than a trend, because it's going to last. It's not going to go away, because I think there's so many agendas out here. There's so many attacks on the common man and the youth. It's almost like it's an attack on the youth. They've got to convince these kids that they cannot. They've got to make them weaker. They've got to make them weaker mentally. They've got to make them where they cannot. They've got to destabilize them and demoralize them, even in just their demeanor. They're having trouble. They are having trouble sitting in one place at one time. But how does that happen? Between all the AI, the gaming that's going on, of course they can. And then you have a whole agenda where you withdraw the electronic devices, e.g. the phones from them, and now it's like the students, the kids are going through a withdrawals. I think that they're going through withdrawals right now because they don't really know. They don't know how to coexist. Their communication skills are extremely low. Their emotional intelligence is extremely low. They've been influenced by the TikTok videos where their attention span is the snap of a finger. They don't know what to do. the younger we are, the more conditions, it's like the bigger the case study. Good morning if you are tuning in, if you're within the sound of, this is a Black Spring Mobile, for the lack of a better word. Shout out to Conspiracy Queen. Thank you so much for coming in. And I'll get to your comments ASAP. Thank you so much for coming in. So I'm saying that everyone, has the right to, dare I say, believe or subscribe to whatever thoughts that they want to, but you have to see it. You just think about all the things that are on sale, even for classrooms, these affirmation stations, and who in the world broke these kids down to where they need a mirror frame that says, you are strong, you are enough, you are courageous, you are smart, you are intelligent, you are capable, you can do big things. Well, where in the world with these kids, who in the world is telling these kids that they cannot do these things? This is where I think the whole philosophy comes in. The same people that are coming in to save you are the same people that have torn you down. They're tearing you down with their AI. They're tearing you down with their instant gratification tools. They're tearing you down with their Oculus games. They want everybody, the agenda is like everybody wants to get the heck out of reality. Everybody would rather be anywhere. They'd rather coexist in any ecosystem or any environment than the one that we're in right now. I'm telling you, it's like my bottom line here is, the objective here is to convince the whole world that, hey, you just can't. And what better way to do it than to do it through the youth? This is the next generation that's being conditioned right now. This is the next generation that thinks that they need a popper or they need a flexi thing in their hand all day long without their cell phone. Or this is the generation that needs a stress ball. I'm telling you that CV19 was the perfect thing. It was the perfect thing. It was the impetus for all of this. And I do believe there's another bubble that's going to burst. And some people say it's the technology that's going to burst. Okay, well then where's that going to leave you? Where is that going to leave you? Where is that going to, look at it right now. Many kids, if you take their phone away from them, it is almost instant depression that they go into, because they've been conditioned. They've been pacified by these machines. And then these parents, you see them giving their kids, you'll see them giving a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old, their cell phone. And they're okay. I gave her my phone so she would be quiet. And that's what all it is. To me, all it takes is a little bit of access to these devices. And it's like your kids their minds are blown. And you can't get them back. It's almost like something comes over them. It's almost like it's a spirit that's installed in them. And you can't get them off of it. I've heard a parent say, by such a time, these parents over here have to tell their kids to turn their phones in by 9 o'clock. Which, if it were just a handheld game. But no, this thing is connected to the whole world. It's connected to the whole world. So I'm just wondering, with all these, I started in on time. It's perfect timing. They have been, I think this is even beyond what's Yuri Bezmenov. I think it's beyond that. The digital age, we were on the edge of it. We've been on the edge before. But during CV19, that was the beginning of this. I've seen articles on COVID middle schoolers, or I've seen and I'm telling you, it never stops. They have successfully convinced a lot of kids' parents that they're always going to be. I wouldn't be surprised shout out to the class of CV19. I would be surprised that a lot of the legislation and the things that were put on the books back then are not, there's not something in there that's going to eventually offer some type of protection for students or kids that were that were in school at that particular time. Say, for instance, if you had a kindergartner or a first grader, it's perfect, right? Everything seasons and cycles. What is it, Ecclesiastes? You know, I don't know the complete scripture, and I think it's bad to convey it if I can't get the whole thing, but you guys out here that know what I mean. Everything seasons and cycle. There's nothing new under the sun. I mean, CV19 was over 5 years ago. So it's almost like, to me, it's very strategic what is done. It's very strategic what was done. And there are also other things that have happened. That other C word has been incredibly on the rise. But nobody's talking about that. We just accept it. AFLAC representatives are all over the place, coming to everybody trying to sell you a policy. I mean, who cannot see? They're showing you how the heck they can condition to get you out of here, and everybody just goes right along with it. I mean, and nobody even talks about it. You know, I'm telling you, timing is everything. But they've conditioned there's at least 2 to 3 generations now that I think that could potentially be protected from what happened in CV19. That goes back to the kindergarten kids. But some of us so-called CTs, we suspected it was going on before 19. We suspected it was, because people already had the symptoms. They just didn't know they just didn't have, until the experts tell us what it is, we won't call it what it is. That's another conditioning. We won't call things what they are until they say. And that's a very big issue even in college. Until the elites decide to professionalize, to make something a profession, it's not a profession. Okay? It's like, to me, until it can be used against society, or the social planners can use it to their advantage, it's not talked about. It's not discussed. It's not on the forefront. You can't call it that until they say. You can't give it that. You can't give it the gas until they say. And then everybody just looks at you funny if you say anything. I mean, I'm telling you, the amount of people that and this is not against, I don't work for AFLAC and like the AFLAC, whatever. But I'm just thinking, the amount of insurance that we have to have. We've got to be the sickest nation in the world. We got to be. You got a policy for everything. And most of it is to your destruction. Most of it is to our own destruction. So what's causing all of this? What's causing these kids to think that they need a stress ball? What's causing these kids to think that they need to play with a popper all day long? They need to entertain themselves with a popper. What's causing these kids to think that they need to be, squirrely? I'm telling you, it's a lot of social engineering. And a lot of it it's legalized. It's got to be on the books. If you guys don't remember, I'm going to say the name. And I'm saying it I'm not saying it in the spirit of any kind of necromancy or anything, any of you whatever's out there, because that's not my deal. But the George Floyd bill, all that stuff it just seems like some of that's coming out too with the policing. We talked about the federalizing of policing. It just seems like some of the things, some of these agendas, I think, were established back then so that they would have the effect, or so they could be justified in implementing them right now. I think that justified, because even though I see what they're saying about Chicago and all these places, okay, now you're going to send in, now you can federalize and do this and that, and I just think about the timing of it all. Just think about the timing. I mean, CV19 didn't just have a social effect. I mean, didn't just have mitigating circumstances, but the effects will affect society, affect kids, generations, communities, and it's like it's almost all of it. Like I said, I don't know all the legislation. I don't know all the HBs. I don't know what made it from the floor, or what still, are the how HRs. I don't know them all, and no one does. But I know there was enough going on back then that it just seems like it's being implemented. It's a gradual release. It's like first they put the idea into your mind, then they start to show you, then they start to ask you to help them reveal more of it, and then after that, then do it yourselves, then you do it together as a community, and then next thing you know, you're doing it to yourself. It's a gradual release. Maybe some people might say it's consistent with the Hegelian dialectic or whatnot, but I'm just telling you, it's a gradual release. It's a gradualistic process of what has happened. If you just look at the last 5.5 years, more than 5.5 years now, because it's hard to believe that CV19, it's more than, because what was it? It was like, what was it, March 13th? Which, for some people that are into the numbers, the number 13 has its own, I'm not making this up, it has its own duality. It has its own implications. So, and that's not me being, I'm not an expert on any of it. I'm just telling you, in literature, in movies, you can see the symbolism. You can see the symbolism. You don't just look at this day, time, and hour, because there's so much deception going on. You can't just look at anything. You got to look in it. You got to look in it. We even have to look in the clouds right now. And some people just look up, they see clouds. For those that look in it, we see other things. So I just, maybe I'm preaching to the choir here, but I'm just saying, you don't just look at it, look in it. Shout out to Mr. Pearson. But that's the way I see. I mean, I've been looking into things for a long time. I've been looking into things more than I've been looking at them for years, but I didn't know what it was. Good morning. Shout out to Marcy T. Good morning to you. Shout out to Conspiracy Queen as well as Stray Godzilla 22. I thank you guys so much for tuning in. But I guess this is somewhat of a rant, but this is just, I guess it's just more like manifestations. I mean, a lot of things are just, manifest. And the summer, look at the weather. I've heard everybody from, dare I say, the Black Belt beyond talk about how they're getting these cold bursts, like these cool bursts that are resembling, wait a minute, what season are we in? And here again, it goes back to the book. Some people call it the good book, whatever you want. I mean, I'm just saying. At times I don't know what season I'm in. I don't. So it's not about dressing seasonal anymore. It's not about me complaining. It's just about, you gotta do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. But I'm saying all of that to say that things have been gradually released unto us. And eventually I'll see something else. But it was introduced to you. And then they kind of recruited you, that they brought you in and say, hey, come on, take a look at this. And eventually they'll put initiatives either out on commercials or through your school districts or through your communities. And the next thing you know, you are voluntarily compliant. It's really diabolical what's happening, or what has happened, or what we're accustomed to. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning. So I'm just telling you guys just some observations that I've made, and I'm telling you, I'm sure there's more to come. This is just, these are some that have kind of been on my plate, been kind of on the short list, but they've also been the most resounding ones. So I'm just saying, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What have you seen? What are you seeing in the youth? I saw headlines on parents want phone-free zones and all this kind of a bit. But look at the cell phone companies. Look at the telecommunications. They've made it affordable for you to give a person. Oh, they're all about family. Oh, we got family plan. Get 2 lines for X amount of dollars. So now you have kids who can't even read the directions on their, can't even read the instructions on their phone with a phone. Oh, then they start complaining about the statistics. They start complaining. I've seen all kind of headlines about the college students not being able to read. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you not think this was not by design? Why in the world? I mean, you got Snoop Dogg making commercials about, well, if you're tired of reading, blah, 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 if you hate reading, here's another app for you. And people see absolutely nothing wrong with it. They see absolutely nothing wrong. But it's all about the convenience, though. These elite will convince you. They know what's best. And it might and it might be painful. It might cause you some inconvenience, but it's for your own good. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you guys, I'm telling you, and we've taken a part in all of it. We've been a part of all of it. We've sought these phones. We've sought the games for the kids. That's a generalized statement by the advocate or not. We've sought the convenience of automaticity. We have sought it all. So there again, we've been a part of our own demise. Well, what else can happen? What do you think happens when fewer people are proficient in reading? What do you think? They're less likely. I mean, they're just feeding into the whole thing about, what was it? They called the Great Replacement theory. See, a lot of people tried to convince people that this was a race issue. Oh, no. As a matter of fact, I've seen some statistics from the Pew Institute. You could probably find these. I'm citing a source. That they talk about, they've broken down the cell phone usage by the races right now. And then lo and behold, you find that race with the most cell phone usage, or that has the most cell phone usage, are some of the most illiterate people, illiterate in the whole system. Now you telling me? There's a lot of people that want to call us conspiracy theorists. They just want to shut things down. They just want to go back to sleep. They just want to serve. They just want to keep serving their idolatry, serving themselves, serving others, entertaining others. And I just have to ask to be forgiven for any role. Help me break the things that I've participated in. Because I was following. I mean, some of these powers some of the things out here are greater than us. They're larger than us. I just have to ask to be forgiven. Help me break it. Help me break it. And don't let me be that stumbling block for somebody else. Don't let me be that, please. Don't let it condemn me. Because I was following too. But what I don't do, I don't dismiss the experiences of other people so that I can make sense of it in my own little world. That's what I don't do. So I'm just saying, you guys, hey, see what you see. See it for what it is. Call it for what it is. It's a much better release than the one they're trying to get you. Call it for what it is. And that in itself will give you some relief. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of deception, a huge time of deception going on out here. It's coming from these politicians. They are constantly doing this. It's coming from these institutions. It's all over the place. We are completely inundated with these. We're completely inundated with social planning. Completely. I mean, it was. I'm just telling you. I've just seen it all. You know, the facial recognition. I don't know. I don't know how much I don't know how sustainable this is. It's not a sustainable agenda, not for human beings, because human beings need to have. We need humanity. We need humanity more than we need. Humanity is much more sustainable, I think, than automation. But I've seen the Ray Kurzweil futurisms. I've seen all of it. I've seen it. And it's totally destroying the confidence of man. It's just, it's completely demoralizing. It's low energy. That's another thing. Low energy. Low energy. I've never seen so much low energy amongst the youth. This is one thing I want to say. I'm not an advocate, or I'm not getting paid for any organizations, but it's one thing about, and I'm gonna say the word, and they can come back, and I'm pretty sure they'll start coming after people for using the word autism or autistic in whatever context. But the thing about autism to me, or if I've met a child that's autistic, there's a pure joy, a pure joy in these kids that it's almost, you know, it's really kind of a dichotomy. It's hard to the pure joy that they have, or the innocence that they have, is, to me, that in itself is, it's not only inspiring, but I'm sorry to say, sometimes that's the light. That's the most light that you get. Because sometimes you look at children and they're just completely, I don't want to say stoned, but there's just a wall there. There's no joy there. There's no joy. There's no joy in their speech. There's no joy in their when they're winning. It's not pure. But I've seen it in an autistic child. If that child breakthrough in their day, or if they're having a breakthrough, if they're just happy to see you again, if they haven't seen you in a while, it's just, there's a depth in the innocence that you don't see anymore. And I have seen that in autistic children. And so I just, I'm telling you, there's, in all the darkness, there is some light. But for them to convince everyone else that they cannot sit still without a popper or a stress ball, that is diabolical to me. Wicked. And then I'm not going to get into the medication, because that's the other thing. That's the other extreme of it. So it's just, to me, there's just so much wicked going on. And it's gonna, the generations to come they have destroyed it. They've destroyed them. And, I don't know what you guys think, but, that's where it is. That's where it is. So let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm going to be honest now, and I'm going to be honest. I almost thought for once, and they may not be done yet, I almost thought at one point that they would try to make Elon Musk, because I've heard, and I don't know I don't have his medical report. No, I don't. I would not be privy to that. But it's almost like people are saying, well, Elon Musk is autistic, and he does things exceptionally, and I was just thinking, okay, so now you're going to he's going to be used to make social planning normal and acceptable for people. We aren't questioning what's going on with our healthcare system or what our kids are being subjected to. They're going to create a hero to normalize it and to make it in ways to make it profitable or to make it a prosperity point for them. And I'm not saying that they're not going to, that won't happen, but I can see it. I've even heard people talk about it, mention it to some extent, but maybe I'm going a step further. Maybe I'm expanding on where they want to go with that. But I'm just saying, I'm just wondering what you guys are seeing. I tell you, the back to school season is an eye-opening season. It's very eye-opening. Now, whether you're going, even some of these private schools, I'm really surprised. Some of them partake in some of the same, some of the same, quote, rituals. Same. I'm not sure about, I don't know a whole lot about homeschools, but I do know that there's a lot of parallels between public and private schools. It's like it's just the cycles that we're on. It's the cycles that we're on. So I appreciate you guys for burning a whopping 37 minutes with me roughly on your Friday. But I don't know. How do we break these cycles? I don't know. Stop turning your kids over to everything that's trending or popular, or you stop doing it. I mean, because all you're doing is you're being voluntarily complicit. They don't have to. I mean, I remember reading, was it Tim Snyder's book about what happened in Germany. Like, a lot of times, they didn't have to, after a certain point, dare I say, the elite or the social planners, they don't have to do anything, because you do it yourself. They've released it to you in a way. They condition you, and then you get, then you get what you get. You get deflowered in a way. I'm being metaphorically speaking. Or I'm figuratively speaking. You get deflowered and then you get devoured, okay? It's happened in every empire. Every empire. That's what they do. So I say this all the time: protect your kids, protect their imaginations, protect their exposure. It's like once it's unleashed, you cannot put it. What is it? The Pandora's box. Or I say, I have a friend that draws it down. You can't put that toothpaste back in the toothpaste tube. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. Not this daytime and hour, but they're gonna keep coming out with it. They're gonna keep coming with it. I don't know what's next. I'm not here to be prophetic. I'm just telling you what I have seen, and I wouldn't be surprised if the next protected class of people are not those that were from birth to 5 when CV19 started, because now you've got different tiers. You've got about two or three generations that are connected, and a lot of people want to keep that narrative going. A lot of it they want to use that excuse to have kids not try, or to not have kids try to fortify themselves or be restored. It's kind of a hopeless thing, but we participate in it. So once again, I'll try to get back in studio with you guys. YouTube, on the other hand, I have to weigh the value in some of the in studio streams, and it seems like, at times it's a little bit more receptive coming in after being away for some time. Or the more you turn it up, they'll come toe to toe with you. You level up your engagement, they come toe to toe with their subversions. So I appreciate you guys so much. Godzilla, I said there's some great comments in here, and I just cannot quite get to them. I'm seeing the 1,000 fall in your left, 10,000 if you're sheltered in the Almighty. Thank you so much, Conspiracy Queen, and thank you so much, Marcy T. Let's see, Marcy's got a pile of clothes. Person, I mean, I appreciate you guys so much. But these times are exhausting right now. I'm telling you, that's another thing. It's so exhausting what's going on. Energy suppressed. Whether you had a pre-existing condition or not, you are affected. You are affected. It doesn't matter, pre-existing condition or not. But I think at this point, whether you took the MTail or not, you got things going on. You got things that are zapping your energy, zapping your spirit, zapping your stick-to-itiveness, zapping, just a zap, just a drain. So you guys have to, fortify yourselves, and try to stay strong, and hold on to your faith, whatever that is. But I tell you what, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Let's see if I can grab a couple of comments before I go. Let's see, Marcy T. Thank you guys, Stray Godzilla 22. So nice to see you, Marcy T. Nikki, nice to see you. And the digital age, the 6-day creation. It took Larry the Thing and his head, WF and card rack. What a mess. You're right, Marcy T. That's exactly what I'm talking about. We're all gonna run out of. I think they're trying to wear us down. They're trying to wear us down. Where we have to beg them for a solution. Beg them for a solution. It's very gradualistic. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get out of here, and you guys have a great start to your week. And if I get back, I'll let you know. All right, guys. Bye for now.